Calum, thanks for joining us on QPTV. Last season, you were a bit of a regular in front of the camera towards the end of last season, but a bit different coming in today after the big win in Ross County.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a wee bit last season that it was results obviously weren't going very well, and obviously had a lot of responsibility as captain at the time, and I think that took over a lot of the media and press duties, and it's obviously wasn't much fun coming out after every single time where we've not performed how we wanted to last year. But it's nice to come out after a victory and say be proud of the team and what we did, because we've had a great start to the season. We're actually disappointed we've not picked up more points, which I think is testament to the group. I think it really is.
What's it been to camp like then? Obviously buoyant after such a big win against a team that was relegated from the Premiership last year.
Yeah, I think we all know the quality that Ross County have got and the budget they've got. And look, don't get me wrong, there was times in the game where they were dominant and things like that, but we look back and I think I only had one save to make during the game. So we took our chances, and luckily we've come away with 3 points. And I think that's only help to bolster the mood in the camp and to make us all feel, because we are in it together. The camaraderie has been brilliant, and staying up there as well the night before as well, everyone spending time together, I think it was brilliant. And I think we're all pulling in the same direction, which I think is important, and hopefully we can build on that result.
Yeah. Josh obviously got 2 goals, and you mentioned yourself making one big save early on, but it was a very good defensive performance as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the real pleasing thing, is because maybe over the last 2-3 years as a club, working under several different managers, we've probably been conceding too many chances, and that's probably been consistent across the 3. I've probably been a lot busier. I think been the sort of busiest goal in the league sort of the last 3 seasons, which is obviously not sustainable. You can only stop so much as a defence. So it's good to see that we've not been conceding a lot of chances, and I think we've only conceded, 1 from open play, maybe 2 with the own goal from Shieldsy. So I think that's really important, because we all know how difficult and how tight the Championship is. So if you can minimise the opportunities you're giving to the opposition, and then obviously, as you mentioned, having a goal scorer up the other end, that can be all the difference. And I think hopefully Josh can continue scoring, and other boys can chip in as well.
And speaking about your defence, it was a milestone for Charlie Fox with his 100th game for the club, but also you had a milestone yourself, a personal one.
Yeah, no, I'm really, really happy for Foxy, because he's had a couple of really bad injuries. Had the ankle injury and then came back from that, and then having the ACL, it's really tough. And I think it can't be underestimated how difficult mentally, not just physically, it can be, because physically we know what Foxy's like. He's top nick and things like that, and he's worked really hard physically to get back, but there's the mental side of it as well. The mental side to trust your body again, because it's not a nice injury, and you wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And it's a fantastic achievement personally for him, because we all grow up as kids wishing to make one professional appearance, and making 100 for a club is a very special occasion. And I know he was very proud of that himself. And then, as you said, yeah, it was my 200th professional appearance over my career, which is, again, as I said, you dream of making one as a kid, and there's multiple times growing up where coaches at academies said that didn't have the technical or physical ability to be a professional footballer, and I like to think I found a way to make it work for me, and hopefully I can make a lot more, and a lot more for the club as well.
Obviously the next game is against St Johnstone. It's a big game for your 201st. What's the mood in the camp like ahead of that one?
It's a massive game. I think it's excitement. I think it's another Premier League club that's come down into the Championship, and I know it's difficult. I know always look back to my time at Dundee when we came down to the Championship, and how going to other clubs, you were a scalp. They wanted to beat you, and we're looking at clubs like St Johnstone, Ross County, and going, we want to prove ourselves against top-notch players and things like that, and show that we are capable of competing, which I know the boys are, even though it's a young squad, and there is that hunger and desire to prove themselves. So hopefully that we can do that tomorrow, and as I said, if we get off to a good start and put the pressure on them, it'll be hopefully a good result.
Mentioned to the gaffer a little bit the travelling support at Ross County, will also be a bigger home support at the City Stadium. Looking forward to performing in front of the home crowd again.
Yeah, 100%. I think I know it sounds silly, but sometimes you do go up to Ross County, and I've been up there with other clubs, and the travelling support isn't what it could be. And I was really, really pleased at how many of the Queen's Park fans made it up there, because that I don't think they can underestimate, or we can underestimate, how important that is, because I think they appreciate that they can see the squad and the club is pulling in a direction, and they appreciate the performances on the pitch, and we reciprocate that back to the fans, because it's so important that we hear them and see them. And at home, that's even more so. We want home to be a fortress. We want it to be our place, and people don't want to come there and play, and the fans can help us make that happen.
Look forward to that tomorrow then.
Yeah, can't wait.